We're doing everything to assist the locals. We're working with the locals. Breaks my heart for Savannah and for her family. I know she's asked for all of our prayers, so please pray for her beautiful mom, pray for her family that she's returned home. That's all we can say about that at this time.
Attorney General Pam Bondi from this morning. She also confirmed federal authorities are going to assist in the search for the missing 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie in Tucson, Arizona. The FBI is offering a $50,000 reward. That's a bump up from the original, which was locally offered at just $2,500. They're looking for any information leading to Nancy Guthrie's recovery or the arrest of anyone involved in her disappearance to get that reward. Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy has more. Peter.
Harris, I just got off the phone with a spokesman over at the FBI, Ben Williamson, and he tells us the following. State Arizona remains in the lead in the investigation. FBI will continue providing all necessary assistance in the investigation, and Director Patel is receiving regular personal updates on the matter. We are ready to help however needed. As for potential travel to the Tucson area, that is unrelated and had been discussed in weeks prior, though plans are subject to change, and we have communicated to the White House that we are ready to adjust plans or provide additional support as instructed by the president, including travel if needed. President Trump has spoken to Savannah Guthrie at least once about her missing mother, and officials here at the highest levels of government are putting out the word that if anybody from a local or state or federal agency has an idea about something that could help with the search, they should just call the president. He is ready to say yes.
The FBI, again, is at the disposal of the state and local government. Whatever personnel or assets or resources that the state and local authorities and police need will be granted to them at the direction of the president, the FBI director, and the attorney general.
We've already seen the Attorney General and the FBI Director today. We expect to see President Trump at some point this afternoon. There are some executive order signings that may or may not open to the press before he leaves later on for Super Bowl weekend at Mar-a-Lago. Harris.
Peter, thank you. In focus now, Robin Dreeke, retired FBI special agent and former chief of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program. Good to have you in focus. So, first of all, what's come out is that the president is at the ready to do even more. How much difference does it make at this point, 6 days in, to get federal help, and what should that look like?
Well, already they've got a lot of federal resources in the mix on this. And as Paul Morrow said, there's no roadmap for this. And so we're really in uncharted territory in a few areas because this ransom note really threw everyone for a loop. And so the president just saying anything you need. And as Peter Doocy was just saying, what we really want to do is any ideas are on the table. And so we're just got to innovate our way through this because that ransom note is really odd. And you mentioned earlier, Harris, also, this is such a low percentage of taking someone hostage for ransom at this age.
Yeah, and I don't know if that changes the protocols. I mean, what does that do to how you normally would handle a hostage negotiation? And now the captor or captors have said, no more conversation, no more communication. There was like this much to begin with, and it was late in the game.
Yeah, and that's what's really challenging here. So hostage negotiators are trained to negotiate two-sided, their side and our side. And so we just have one side, and they're doing a really great job working with the family on the messaging. They had the empathetic message first that came out with the whole, with all the siblings. And then last night they had more of a transactional one that came out for most likely the getter of the person themselves. And so that was really effective. But when it comes to the roadmap, it is just really a big challenge to work through all these different wickets that are coming up.
I want to show this to you. TMZ founder Harvey Levin detailed more information about that purported ransom note his newsroom received. Let's watch.
This is not a letter that was thrown together in a couple of minutes. It is a very specific, well-organized, layered letter that really lays things out. This is not AI. You know, if an English teacher were to look at the structure and the grammar and everything else, I think they would have no notes. So this is somebody, it's not a crazy person who's writing this. I mean, they may be crazy, but they have the capacity to make demands, say what they want, say what they don't want, and it's very, very structured.
Is there anything about this process, Robin, in the way the note is written, as we're hearing about it there from Harvey Levin, who's an attorney, by the way, an established and a very good one. Are there certain words that you look for as you're trying to figure something out? I know you can't profile somebody you don't know, but can you tell me about someone who might hurt or not hurt Nancy Guthrie based on what you're seeing play out?
Yeah, you can tell a lot by how letters are written. That's why statement analysis is going through that letter with a fine-tooth comb, I guarantee it. But again, as an investigator, you're going to start with the laws of probability first. And the laws of probability on this are saying that this is most likely, or at least probably, a panic escalation in the moment without this as a primary goal of taking someone. And that's because they're not given a roadmap for proof of life. Because that's what these things are looking for. We're looking for proof of life, because the family's doing a beautiful job of saying, hey, we're here, we're willing to cooperate, and we're willing to listen. That way, if someone has a grievance, we're willing to listen to a grievance if it's that based. And then the other side is, hey, we're ready to do something, but we just need a sign of life, which is what standardly happens, and this would not happen in this case so far.
Well, look, this is a case we all remember well. 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey vanished on Christmas Day in 1996. She was later found dead in the family's basement. Her killer has not been found. And before she was discovered, the family found a ransom note inside the home. John Ramsey, JonBenet's dad, joined Fox this morning to talk about the importance of proof of life for negotiating with the suspected kidnappers.
But what do? Do they pay it?
No, not unless they know that she's alive, and that's what we required. We were prepared to require that in JonBenet's case. We had the money ready, but our plan, we were supposed to get a call, and our plan was, let me talk to my daughter, and if she's alive, we'll get the money to you and get her back.
So that's critical, and I wrote down what you said, panic escalation in the moment. They didn't really have a path to show proof of life. So do you tell them? Does the family put a video out and say, these are the things we're looking for?
I would think so, and I think they've been pretty clear on it, because when you look at it from the perpetrator's side, when it's looking for proof of life, he's either unable or unwilling. It's really just those two routes to go down.
What would you ask for,
and so
specifically?
You need to,
because a video, I mean, Savannah Guthrie made it clear the first video she put out a couple nights ago, that can be tampered with. So what do you ask for? Because it might lead you to some answers at this point if this person isn't creative enough and panicking in the moment, as you suggested.
I would ask for video. And because, again, remember, it's not just the proof of life. We're looking for a way to communicate, a way to track, a way to get more data and details on what's going on here. And his willingness to communicate, because no one is going to give anything blindly, because if you just gave blind, you're not going to get any reciprocity in any way without proof that there's something to reciprocate with.
Yeah, and now at least you can use artificial intelligence to tell you what's real and what isn't about that video, which is what Savannah was expressing concern about. Great to have you. Robin Dreeke, come back anytime. Thank you.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.